Picture as a 4-year-old sitting at the dinner table with your parents, and dinner was a jar of home canned string beans with a potato, and that was divided between the three of you. My dad did the best that he could, and then we moved to Florida. Hi, my name is Naomi, and welcome to Journey of a Flying Pig, where I talk about what I learned from a life well lived. And today I am going to talk about how food insecurity as a child molded my life. Okay, so we moved to Florida, the land of plenty, oranges and sunshine, and food. And yes, money was still tight, but food was much more plentiful. And I ate, and I ate, and I could never feel full. And I blossomed, and I have struggled with my weight ever since. As a young adolescent and teenager, my mom, she tried so hard to get me to stop. I remember her saying, fatty, fatty, 2x4, can't get through the kitchen door. Fatty, fatty, 4x8, can't get through the garden gate. Now, you hear that and you might think, oh my God, that is such a horrible thing for her to say to you. And as an adult, we did talk about it. And I told her, I'm like, that was really, really cruel. And she's like, I didn't know what to do. I was trying reverse psychology. And I'm like, well, it didn't take, did it? She tried. My parents tried. I I do not blame them for any of this. Okay? This is just the way life was. So, once after I graduated from high school and my postgraduate plans didn't turn out the way that I had, planned, I ended up joining the military. And the military was such the whole, my whole 14 years in the military was a blessing, but a mixed blessing. Okay, so the whole time that I was in the military, yeah, I actually didn't eat for a couple of days um, in order to pass the physical when I when I joined the military. Okay, and that pretty much described my whole military career. I was on the weight control program. Yeah, I was on the Fat Boy program the whole 14 years. Maybe, you know, a month or two I wasn't. And yeah, that meant that I was constantly being weighed. I was constantly having to do mandatory get up early in the morning and, you know, uh, do PT. Um, yeah. The triple S threat to weight control? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You take X-Lax. You don't eat for a couple of days. And then you go to the sauna just before the weigh-in so that just barely make that weigh-in and you can breathe for a couple more months until the next weigh-in. And it was a constant struggle like that. I remember one time I hadn't eaten for a couple of days in order to make the weigh-in. And my boyfriend took me to our favorite deli and he bought me my favorite sandwich at the time was this turkey sandwich with mustard. And the smell of mustard made me nauseous and I couldn't eat. Mm, yes. Um, so 14 years of the military was really tough. And eventually I ended up being honorably discharged from the military for failing to follow an order, which was to maintain my weight. And that was a mixed blessing. I loved being in the military, being overwhelmed, being close to and just over the weight limit did keep me from doing my job effectively. Um, my first 6 years, I was in a maintenance, electromechanical maintenance um, position where I was able to physically do all of the requirements of the job. And then I became a Korean linguist and I sat on my butt translating Korean. Yeah, my weight did not keep me from being effective in that. As a matter of fact, I was um I was a supervisor. I had rank. Uh and gradually, I love peacetime militaries. I was in from the end of the Vietnam War right up to just as the Gulf crisis was beginning. And during a peacetime military, they get a chance to focus on these things. So eventually it got to the point where, um, like I said, I was honorably discharged. And it was a mixed blessing because I was not treating my body well. And so, you know, having that pressure taken off was good, bad, because I gained a lot of weight right after that. And I have been at that weight, up and down 5 pounds or so, ever since I got out of the military in 1980. Um, and, um, okay, so how else did food insecurity affect me? Okay, so besides the not being able to feel full, not knowing when to stop, um, I also realized that I started collecting food. Um, okay, happiness to me is a full cupboard, and it has grown to the point where I actually have a back room that has shelves of canned food dated first in, first out, um, and two full freezers, freestanding freezers, as well as a the freezer in my refrigerator. Um, and the oh, I have now, oh my God, to add to it, I have um learned how to preserve my own food. I now know how to can food and dehydrate so I can collect more food. All right, you get the theme here? Okay. And this scarcity mindset that developed as a result of my food insecurity as a child has translated into other things also. So I'm always preparing for the future, the what if. And it's so ironic because as a counselor, one of the things that I am always telling other people is to have confidence in your ability to be okay when the other shoe drops. And yet I'm struggling with that myself. Okay. Um, in regards to material things, um, I yeah. So why am I talking about this today? Okay. Well, okay. Well, first of all, I want to backtrack a little bit, and I said that the my getting out of the military was a mixed blessing. Okay, because even though I loved being in the military. And I have such good memories of all of the opportunities, the traveling, the people that I met, how it helped me grow as a person. And and then the bureaucracy of I was fat. I was on the fat boy program. I didn't meet the standards. And the loss of self-esteem as a result of that was a struggle that I have worked on for years. Okay. And because I did get out when I got out and how I got out, I ended up I ended up going down a career path that brought me to here, to where I am right this minute, and being really happy with who I am right now, where I am, sitting here in my home office. And not only do I provide therapy to other people, I'm also sitting here talking to you like this, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Anyway, but that's beside the point. Okay, so um, so why am I talking about it now? I'm talking about it now because I've been doing a lot of introspection in preparation for these videos. Um, and the epiphany that I had over the weekend was that I realized that I am always preparing for future Naomi. Okay? Future Naomi is going to have food. Future Naomi is going to have supplies. Future Naomi has all of these plans for when she's retired. Wake up call. I am semi-retired, and because I'm still working. Okay, we're all going to still work after we officially retire. Um, the so my epiphany is that, do you know that today today Naomi, present Naomi, is actually yesterday's Naomi, future Naomi. So, isn't it about time? Isn't it about time for me to start enjoying the fruits of my labor, you might say, and start being okay to eat out of the freezer? It's okay for me to use those things that I have saved. It is okay for me to enjoy the moment and not worry about tomorrow, because, as I tell other people, I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself tomorrow too. All right, that's it. Okay. Um, I want to say that if you like what I've said, if any of this resonated with you, the the idea that insecurity of your childhood is influencing you today, and that recognition that you are going to be okay, I'm going to be okay, we are going to be okay. If any of that resonated with you, like, hit the like button if you've liked what I've said. Subscribe if you would like to have more conversations like this with me. And leave me comments. Is there anything, how did your childhood influence you today? And it is a mixed bag, okay? Because there's been the positive and then there's been the not so positive that's resulted of this, okay? And as always, be kind. Be kind to others, and above all else, be kind to yourself. I'll talk to you later. Bye.